The Battle of Stalingrad was already a living nightmare. Entire city blocks were reduced to skeletons of brick and metal. Smoke and ash hung in the air for months. Soldiers fought room to room, floor to floor, often without knowing who controlled the building next door. Every shadow hid danger. Every window held death. In this chaotic hell, snipers controlled the battlefield. The Soviets had talented marksmen like Vasily Zaitsev. The Germans had their own elite shooters hiding among the rubble. But as the fighting intensified, strange reports began to emerge from both sides. Men who were shot by a sniper no one could locate. Perfect kill shots delivered from angles that made no sense. And eerie silence afterward, with no muzzle flash, no retreat, and no spoor to track. The first stories came from a Soviet reconnaissance platoon operating near the tractor factory. 3 soldiers were killed in quick succession by a single bullet to the heart. Each shot fired exactly 8 seconds after the previous one. Soviet spotters couldn't identify a shooter. German positions were too far away, and the angles suggested the shooter was moving, rapidly, between positions no human could cross in that time frame. Days later, a German patrol reported an identical encounter. 2 men were hit with precision shots to the forehead. The Germans insisted the shooter was behind them, but Soviet positions were hundreds of meters away, blocked by collapsed buildings. No footprints were found, even in fresh snow. By this point, both sides began referring to the shooter as something other than human. German troops called him Der Geist, the ghost. Soviet troops called him Nemoy Strelok, the silent shooter. Officers dismissed the stories as battlefield hysteria. But the strange reports continued. One Soviet squad described hearing breathing behind a ruined wall just moments before one of their men was shot. They claimed the shot came from a direction opposite the breathing, as if the shooter had moved instantly. Another unit reported seeing a silhouette near a collapsed grain elevator, but when they approached, the figure vanished. No tracks, no shell casings, no disturbed snow. Just silence. More unnerving were the soldiers who insisted they saw the sniper's face. One German corporal swore he looked into the eyes of a man staring at him from a broken window. Pale face, dark eyes, unmoving. The corporal raised his rifle, but the figure disappeared. His partner was shot a second later from behind, though no one had passed the corporal's position. Rumors spread that the sniper wore no insignia and no helmet. Some said he wore a tattered Soviet cloak. Others claimed he had no weapon at all, that the shots came from nowhere, as if the city itself had turned against them. The fear reached such a point that entire units refused to move through certain corridors of rubble after dusk. Commanders on both sides tried to find rational explanations. They suggested multiple snipers coordinating, ricochets, or simply misidentifications in the chaos of battle. But none of those theories explained the exact patterns. Paired heart shots, perfect headshots, identical spacing between deaths, and the complete lack of a trail. One of the most chilling accounts came from a Soviet sniper team assigned to hunt the Phantom. The team consisted of 3 veteran shooters, each with confirmed kills. They took up positions overlooking a destroyed square. At dawn, they noticed a flicker of motion across the rubble. They prepared to fire. Suddenly, one member of the team slumped forward, shot cleanly through the temple. The remaining sniper scanned frantically but saw no flash, no muzzle smoke, nothing. A second shot rang out and the spotter collapsed. The last surviving sniper retreated in panic, insisting the shot had come from directly beneath him, though he was perched on a destroyed second-floor balcony. When they investigated the area beneath the balcony, the ground was untouched. No tracks, no brass casings, no disturbed snow. As winter deepened and the battle raged, stories of the Phantom Sniper only increased. German prisoners claimed to hear footsteps at night, pacing through empty buildings. Soviet patrols reported seeing a lone figure walking calmly through active fire zones without being hit, only to disappear behind a single pillar. Some soldiers said they heard faint whispers before the sniper struck. whispers in a language they couldn't place. When Stalingrad finally fell and the Germans surrendered, Soviet investigators conducted a widespread search of suspected sniper nests. They found plenty of rifles, plenty of spent cartridges, but no single position that could explain the precision and mobility attributed to the Phantom. Not one rifle matched the ballistics of the mysterious kill shots reported by both sides. War historians later argued that battlefield conditions, ruined buildings, echoes, and fear may have created the illusion of a supernatural sniper. They proposed that multiple snipers were mistakenly believed to be one. Others suggested hallucinations brought on by starvation, cold, and exhaustion. But those theories fail to account for the consistent shot placement, identical timing patterns, and impossible movement through blocked and snow-covered terrain. Even more unsettling is a dossier discovered in a post-war Soviet archive. It referenced an unidentified marksman whose presence created extreme psychological disruption on both sides. The final note in the file reads, "Shooter never recovered, no body located." To this day, the identity of the Phantom Sniper of Stalingrad remains unknown. No soldier ever claimed the role. No weapon was ever found. No official explanation has satisfied those who experienced the terror firsthand. Some say he was the greatest sniper who ever lived. Some believe he was a ghost of Stalingrad itself, a vengeful spirit born from the countless dead. Others insist he was never human at all. What is certain is this: in the shattered city where tens of thousands died, one unseen marksman stalked the ruins with impossible precision. And more than 80 years later, his legend still chills those who dare to ask who, or what, truly haunted Stalingrad.